This ginger ale tastes extra good tonight for some reason, boss.
You say that every time you are turning something over in your mind.
You caught me. There is something big I cannot stop thinking about.
Tell me what is bothering you and we will unpack it together.
I keep wondering whether we actually control our online lives at all.
That is a sharp question for a late night at the counter.
I mean, what if one of those big social platforms just shuts my account down one day?
Then a large part of your digital history may disappear in a very sudden way.
That is exactly what scares me. All my photos and posts and people I talk to could go away.
You are not the only one who feels that way about those platforms.
Sometimes it feels like I am only borrowing space from them instead of owning anything.
In many ways, that feeling is close to the truth.
Can you break that down for me in plain language, because the whole thing feels so confusing?
Let us start with the basics of how big platforms usually work.
Okay, talk to me as if I know almost nothing about how they run the internet.
A big platform is usually run by one company on its own servers under its own rules.
So everything I do there passes through their machines and their rules first.
Exactly, your posts, your messages, your followers, and your feed are all inside their system.
And if they change the rules overnight, then my whole experience can change too.
Yes, they can change the rules or the design or the recommendation system whenever they decide to.
That is the part that makes me feel powerless, because there is no real vote for users like me.
Your influence is usually limited to leaving, complaining, or adapting to whatever they decide.
I hate how my feed can look different from one week to the next, and I never know why.
Those changes often come from algorithms that the company designs to maximize some goal.
You mean goals like keeping me scrolling or selling more ads or pushing certain content?
That is right, the algorithm is a tool to optimize behavior on the platform in a way that helps the company.
So when I feel lost in a sea of random posts, that is not an accident, it is shaped by those choices.
The experience is strongly shaped by decisions you do not see and could not easily change.
Is that why people say we do not really own our online lives on those big platforms?
Yes, because ownership here is not just about files, it is also about control and dependency.
Dependency is the scary word there, because I depend on them for my social world and sometimes my work.
If one company holds most of the keys to your contacts, content, and visibility, then your dependency is high.
Then I saw people online talking about something called the Fediverse and decentralized social media.
Of the Fediverse, that is an attempt to structure social media in a very different way.
Every article I tried to read made my head spin, so please keep it very simple for me.
I will. Let us build it step by step so your mind can follow without strain.
Great, I am ready. Just imagine I am a curious first-year student with a ginger ale.
In the world of big platforms, there is usually one big service and everyone signs up there.
Right, you make one account at that place and your whole world is locked inside it.
In the Fediverse, the idea is that many different servers can host users but still talk to each other.
So there is not just one big site, there are many smaller ones that connect behind the scenes.
Exactly, each server is run by some group or person, and they can set their own rules and style.
But people on one server can still follow and talk with people on another server.
Yes, because they use a common set of technical rules that let servers exchange messages.
So it is like different groups that can still send messages back and forth, even if one group shuts down.
If one server disappears, you do not lose the entire network, you only lose that one server.
That already sounds safer than one giant company that can pull the plug for everyone at once.
Resilience is one of the advantages people hope for when they move to decentralized systems.
People also mention this thing about running your own server if you want more control.
Yes, in some projects you can even host your own server and invite your own community into it.
In that case, I am not just a guest, I am part of the people running the whole place.
Then you or your group can decide which rules apply and which are the servers you want to connect to.
This is where the question of control comes back in a new light for me.
That is exactly where it belongs, because control is about who decides and who depends on whom.
But I am still not sure how much control I really gain if I join the Fediverse.
Let us look at it point by point so you can see where you win something and where you still have limits.
Yes, please, I like point by point, it keeps my brain calm.
First, there is the question of your account and your data.
That is my number one worry, because my photos and my words carry a lot of my memories.
On a big platform, your account and your data live only inside the company system.
If they block me or close down the service, then I lose access to everything very fast.
Often you can download some archives, but the social graph and the public space are hard to move.
Right, having a file on my laptop is not the same as having my friends and my reach.
In some decentralized systems, you can move between servers while keeping parts of your identity.
You mean like moving home but bringing your phone number and some of your contacts with you?
Yes, some projects try to make your online name and your connections portable in that sense.
That already feels closer to real control, even if it is not perfect.
It is more like shifting from total lock into a softer kind of lock-in with more exits.
I like the phrase more exits because it means I am less trapped if something goes wrong.
Exactly, control often grows when you have more exits and more options, not when you have total power.
What about my feed though? Because I hate when the feed turns into a mess of noise.
You are touching the second big topic, which is how your timeline is built.
On big platforms, the timeline feels like a puzzle I did not ask for, made from things I did not choose.
That is because a hidden ranking system is picking and ordering posts for you.
So when I scroll and time disappears, someone else has tuned that process very carefully.
Yes, they tune it for goals such as engagement or time spent on the platform.
In decentralized systems, does the feed work in the same strange way?
Many decentralized platforms use a simple time-based feed where you see posts from accounts you follow in order.
That sounds peaceful compared to an endless river of random suggestions.
There can still be filters and recommendations, but they tend to be simpler and easier to understand.
So I trade some excitement and surprise for a sense of calm and predictability.
You could say you gain more clarity about where you're seeing something at a given moment.
That kind of control feels quiet, but very important to my mental health.
When the feed is calmer, you may also notice your own habits more clearly and make better choices.
Better choices like setting limits or following people who lift me up instead of dragging me down.
Yes, and that leads us into the third big topic, which is moderation and safety.
This one scares me the most because the internet can get very dark very fast.
On big platforms, the company usually hires teams and builds tools to remove harmful content and bad behavior.
Sometimes they react slowly, and sometimes they react in a way that seems unfair or biased.
That tension is one of the reasons people argue about content decisions all the time.
How does moderation work when there are many servers instead of one big company?
In the Fediverse, each server sets its own rules and its own approach to moderation.
So one server can be strict and another server can be relaxed about what people post.
Yes, and servers can also decide to connect to or block other servers based on those rules.
That means the map of who talks to whom is always changing.
Correct, and that flexibility can be a strength, but also a source of confusion.
If I join one server and then I find out it connects to some scary places, I might feel unsafe again.
Then you might decide to move to another server with stronger rules that fit your values.
So I gain the freedom to choose a place with rules I like, but I also carry the work of making that choice.
That is the trade-off: more freedom and more responsibility at the same time.
Responsibility is heavy after a long day, but it also sounds more grown up.
It is like learning to drive. The risk is higher, but the independence is also higher.
I can respect that, even if part of me wants a safe bus that never crashes.
The danger is that the safe bus might also decide one day that you are no longer allowed on board.
Which brings us back to the fear I started with, losing my online life in one bad moment.
Exactly, both models come with risks, just different shapes of risk.
How does all of this feel for people who create content for a living?
For them, this question can be huge because their income and identity depend on these systems.
If a big platform cuts their reach, their numbers and their earnings can fall overnight.
I have seen that happen. It can be very painful and confusing.
Then the idea of moving to a decentralized network must sound like a fresh start.
It can, especially for creators who care more about deep connection than raw numbers.
Because there they might build a smaller, but more loyal community.
Yes, smaller circles with stronger ties can be very meaningful.
But they might lose the scale and the money that a big platform can give.
That is often the hard part, because many decentralized platforms are still growing and offer fewer tools for income.
So creators face a real dilemma between stability and control, and between reach and trust.
Some choose a mixed approach and keep a presence on both big centralized platforms and decentralized ones.
Like keeping one foot on a large stage and one foot in a smaller local room.
That way they do not bet everything on one place, and they can see where the future moves.
For regular people like me, not full-time creators, what does a wise approach look like?
It starts with understanding your own level of dependency on any single platform.
Dependency again, the word of the night.
Ask yourself how much of your social life, your sense of self, and your work depend on one company system.
If the answer is almost everything, then I am standing on very thin ice.
Then it might be time to reduce that dependency step by step.
What kind of steps do you picture when you say that?
First, keep your own copies of important photos, posts, and contacts outside any single platform.
So I should save my key memories and relationships somewhere I control more.
Exactly, that way a platform shutdown would hurt, but it would not raise everything you care about.
What is the second step?
Spread your presence across more than one platform, so you do not rely only on one giant.
If one service fails, then I still have other places where people know how to reach me.
Yes, that is simple diversification, the same idea people use in many parts of life.
And the third step is probably to try a decentralized service and see how it feels.
You're ahead of me. Yes, explore one or two of those systems with low pressure and open curiosity.
I like the idea of trying them without any rush to move everything at once.
That open exploration lets you learn how they work, what you like, and what feels strange.
Part of me is excited, and part of me is worried it will be too technical.
Some parts are still rough, that is true, but the tools are slowly getting simpler.
If I get stuck, I can always ask you, since you seem to know almost everything about this world.
You know I enjoy these questions, they keep my own thinking sharp as well.
There is one more thing I keep puzzling over though.
Go ahead, we still have time before closing.
When people say decentralized social media gives control back to users, how true is that sentence?
It is partly true and partly wishful thinking.
Can you separate those two parts for me, so I do not get lost in slogans?
The true part is that decentralized systems reduce your reliance on a single company and a single set of rules.
So I gain more paths to leave and more ways to shape my own journey online.
Yes, that is a real and powerful form of control, even if it is quiet and not flashy.
What about the wishful thinking part?
The wishful part is the idea that decentralization will remove all problems of power, conflict, and harm.
Because people are still people, no matter how the servers connect.
Yes, humans bring their fear, pride, anger, and greed into every system they build.
So even in the Fediverse there can be drama, abuse, and fights about rules.
There already are, and there will continue to be because that is part of social life.
That is a little sad and also strangely honest.
Honesty can be a good base for making wiser choices.
So maybe the real question is not whether we gain perfect control, but what kind of dependency we choose.
That is a beautiful way to put it.
I choose which risks I am willing to accept and which values matter most to me.
For some people, convenience matters most, for others, autonomy matters most, and many stand somewhere in between.
You know, when we started I felt only fear and frustration, but now I feel something softer.
What do you feel now?
I feel like the world is still messy, but I have more ways to move through it with open eyes.
That sense of clear sight is often more realistic than pure optimism or pure fear.
You always manage to pull me out of my spiral and back into a place where I can think.
You do the hard work by asking the questions and facing the answers.
Thank you for saying that. It makes me feel less small in front of these giant systems.
You are not small, you are one person with a mind and choices, and that already matters a lot.
One person with a mind and a glass of ginger ale.
A very important glass of ginger ale.
I guess the practical takeaway for me is to back up my stuff, use more than one platform and try a decentralized one.
That sounds like a strong and simple plan.
And maybe I should look at the settings and policies with more care instead of always clicking agree.
Reading what you are signing up for is not exciting, but it is part of real control.
All right, I will try to be a little more grown up about this digital life thing.
Growing up online is not about knowing every technical detail, it is about knowing what you depend on and why.
That sentence is going to sit with me for a long time.
Good, let it guide you gently when you decide where to spend your time.
Thank you for tonight, boss. This talk really cleared some fog from my head.
You're always welcome here, you know that.
I should let you close up soon. I did not notice how late it got.
Time tends to slip when we follow big questions, but yes, it is almost time to call it a night.
Then I will finish this last sip of ginger ale and get going.
Have a safe walk home, and take care of your online world as kindly as you can.
I will. Good night, boss.
Good night, Claire.
It suddenly feels very late and I think I should head home now. Wait, I just reached for my bag and realized that my wallet is not here. I must have left my wallet at home and now I have no way to pay for this ginger ale. This is really awkward and I'm not sure what I should do. Excuse me, since you are sitting right next to me at the counter, could I ask you something a little bold? I forgot my wallet, so would you be willing to treat me to this ginger ale tonight? I know it is sudden, but I really do not have any other option right now. To be honest, I knew you were listening in on our conversation the whole time. If anything we talked about helped you even a little, would you please consider helping me out? I would be so grateful if you could cover this drink for me. Thank you, I will take that smile as a yes. If you would like to support me, please use the QR code at the bottom right of the video or the link in the description. Any small tip for this ginger ale means a lot to me. While you are here, please also tap like, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment if you have a thought to share. Your reactions and your words help keep this little nighttime salon alive. In the description there are links to other works from completely different series as well. Those other stories have their own mood and topics, so you can explore whatever fits your night. Thank you again for staying with us until the end. Have a gentle night and I hope we can share another ginger ale and another conversation soon.